Any interactions with Roddy Piper?
Loved Hot Rod. I love Roddy. Yes. In Austria, I believe. It was either Austria or it might have been in Finland the morning of said Piss on Air Supply. But I want to say it was in Austria now that I think about it, because we spent a little bit more time there. Uh, Brian and I had the pleasure, we went to the building. We all got to the building pretty early because at that time, they would we would get to the building hours before doors, and they would have a meal prepared for us at the building as well. So we would usually get a second catering meal. So we'd wake up and get breakfast at the hotel, um, and then we would have another meal catered for us, like set up for us at the building a couple hours before doors. And so we had all this extra time for some reason. I can't quite remember. I think the show was starting late. It might have been like a Friday. I can't remember. We had extra time, and there was a kind of a gym and a sauna, like this big kind of Terry Silver-esque sauna. Um, and Hot Rod invites Brian and I in there, and just the three of us sat in this sauna for like an hour. And you would think, man, like how would you sit in a sauna for an hour? And I don't really remember, but it didn't feel like an hour because we just got to sit here and pick his brain, and he was amazing. I loved Hot Rod. And so weeks, maybe months later, it's pointed out to me in the magazine, he's being interviewed, and they asked him something like who to look out for, and he brings this up and he mentions that time, like so he spent some time with it, and like I was like, oh my God, I was so touched he like remembered that. Um, and then I got to spend more time with him. Just every time he came up, I would seek him out, and or he would seek me out, and he was just. I was actually working on a project with him. It was a wrestling project with Animal as well, with Joe. Rest in peace to both of those gentlemen because they were both always super cool to me. But Hot Rod in particular was like an "I love you, man" kind of guy,
That's
and
awesome.
uh, and I was working on a project with him when he passed away because we were supposed to do something the next day, and my friend called me and he took the phone call, literally hearing that Hot Rod had just died, and man, that was brutal. That was brutal. But yeah, just one of my favorite people. I mean, there's a lot of other little things, but it's stuff that I love to keep,
Sure.
you know.
Got it.
But yeah,
Any hide and right stories?
love John.
Yeah.
I'm heavily featured on loop in his Jumbotron video getting decimated. And when I was in Louisville, sorry, um, as part of that,
Louisville.
Louisville, Louisville. Part of that not wanting to plant my roots down there, and because guys would get apartments and then they would be stuck there,
Right.
was I just stayed at the extended stay, and John was the only other one that did that. Uh, guys would always usually start there
Hmm.
and then quickly get into an apartment, but I was there for all the months that I was there, and he lived right behind me, so we kind of shared a wall. Uh, and he made friends with all these cats and stuff, and he was always a good goofy guy. I loved it. Like,
You shared a wall. For some reason, that just made me laugh. I can picture you on one side of the wall like this, and him on the other, like, like
yeah,
this. You know.
banging on the walls, like, you still up, buddy? Like, a good old Southern Cajun dude. But has had his kind of issues as well, because just guys guys are always dealing with something at home, or something's always going on. And but John was always my friend. I always liked working with him. It was always super fun to work with him. He made me laugh because he would always commentate his own stuff, like, to himself, like he like talking to himself, like telling himself what he was, but in characters. So he always like, especially at OVW, he'd be like bam, 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 bam. Like he would make
Yeah.
like sound effects. It was just like, but he was serious. He wasn't doing like, and it was just like it was so funny. Um, but yeah, underrated music too. That was one of Jim Johnson's generic hits. I'll just talk for a few moments real quick. I just wanted to point this.
Yeah.
First of all, I wanted to mention this comic book that my brother and I created, uh, and it's right there.
Wow. The hero of prophecy. Is that you? Are you in the comic book?
You can see my name right there,
Paul
Paul
London. Yeah.
London, hero of the prophecy, and that's me. That's my brother's company. You can go to Geekscape.
Wow. It's Geekscape.
Yeah, Geekscape.net.
Net. Okay. Is it a
Yeah.
wrestling theme? Is there any wrestling involved in this?
Yes,
Okay, yeah.
it is. It's basically I'll show you a little bit. I'm doing these indies because I'm living out of my van, and the fans hate me, and the promoter puts me in with this beast of a woman. And I think I'm about to die, and I get transported to this other realm by accident because this this young wizard who's an owl named Finnegan found this device that this evil wizard's trying to find so he can take over the universe. It's very much mistaken identity in the wrong place kind of story, like Three Amigos in space, like a Galaxy Quest and stuff like that. And so I get transported to this world. Um, Actually, you can kind of see the transformation thing there. That there, and so there's stuff happening uh, throughout, and yeah, I show up and I'm, the unassuming hero, and that's yeah, you can go to herooftheprophecy.com for more info. Um, as well as I will be in Vegas for WrestleMania week. So for all you promoters who know what you're doing, um, book Paul London at gmail.com. And I'm on social media at London Foo. So that's
Instagram.
all I got.
Right.
Instagram and X, Twitter, Twitter. It'll always be the little blue bird to me.